Blake Harrison was a man of quiet strength. After serving in the military for over a decade alongside his best friend, Travis Mitchell, both had now retired, but they still carried the discipline, respect, and keen instincts of soldiers. Blake, a widower raising his 10-year-old daughter Emma, worked as a mechanic in a small Midwestern town, while Travis, known for his wandering spirit, visited often. On one clear afternoon, after returning from a camping trip in Blake's old pickup truck, the two friends enjoyed a peaceful drive filled with stories of their time in service, shared laughter, and the comfortable silence only longtime comrades can share. They pulled into a gas station near a busy highway intersection for a quick break to refuel before heading home. As Blake began pumping gas, a group of 6 leather-clad bikers roared onto the scene behind them. The thunder of their Harley-Davidsons and their boisterous laughter drew attention immediately. At the forefront was their leader, a tall, rough-looking man named Derek who exuded arrogance. Known around town as troublemakers always seeking an excuse to stir up chaos, the bikers wasted no time. Travis stepped inside the store to grab some snacks while Blake continued filling the tank. Spotting the two, Derek smirked and whispered something to his crew before striding over. "Hey, old man," Derek called, "nice truck. How about you let me take it for a spin?" Blake didn't look up at first. Keeping his tone steady yet firm, he replied, "Not interested. Find something else to entertain yourself." Derek's smirk vanished, replaced by a sneer as he stepped closer. "You got a mouth on you," he growled. "I don't like being told no." By the time Travis returned, a bag of snacks in hand, he quickly assessed the situation and noticed Derek's gang closing in around Blake. Without a word, Travis set his bag down and stood beside his friend. "You boys should move along," he said in a calm yet authoritative tone. The bikers laughed and mocked the two men. Derek spat on the ground just inches from Blake's boots and taunted, "What are you going to do? Call the cops? You're just a couple of washed-up old men." Blake exchanged a glance with Travis. Their years in the military had taught them to remain composed, but it was clear that the bikers were looking for trouble. The situation escalated when one of the bikers tried to shove Travis. The shove barely moved him, but it was enough to draw the line. In one swift, calculated move, Travis grabbed the biker's arm, twisting it just enough to make the man wince in pain. "Let's not do this," Travis said quietly, hoping to defuse the situation. However, the gang did not take the warning well. Derek, now visibly angry, signaled his men to teach them a lesson, and the bikers lunged. What happened next left everyone stunned. Blake and Travis moved like a well-rehearsed team, every punch, every block, every move precise and efficient. Despite their numbers, the bikers were no match for the soldiers' training and reflexes. Within minutes, the gang lay on the ground, groaning in pain. Blake and Travis didn't break a sweat. From behind the counter, a gas station attendant watched the chaos unfold and stepped outside. "Should I call the police?" he asked nervously. Blake shook his head. "No need. They've learned their lesson." Humiliated, Derek spat out a threat, "You're gonna regret this, old man." But neither Blake nor Travis flinched. They climbed back into the truck and drove away, convinced that the matter was over. Weeks later, however, Blake began noticing something unusual: strange cars parked near his house at odd hours, and an unsettling feeling that someone was watching him. Travis, temporarily staying with Blake, agreed one evening over dinner with Emma when a loud bang suddenly echoed outside. Rushing out, they discovered Blake's truck on fire. It was clear this was no accident. A note had been left near the flames, "We're not done." Blake's instincts kicked in. He knew Derek and his gang were behind it. Although Travis suggested calling the police, Blake refused. "They want us to be scared, let's show them we're not," he said firmly. Determined to confront the threat, Blake and Travis decided to track down Derek. As they dug deeper, they uncovered something unexpected. Derek wasn't just a petty gang leader, he was part of a larger criminal network involved in trafficking and extortion. The bikers were merely a front. This wasn't just about revenge anymore, it was about protecting their community. Unable to stand by while innocent people suffered, Blake and Travis reached out to some of their old military contacts. They gathered intelligence and quietly built a case against Derek's operations. One night, using the skills honed in their service, they set a trap. Luring Derek and his men to an abandoned warehouse, Blake and Travis used not only their physical strength but also strategy and calculated moves to incapacitate the gang while collecting crucial evidence. By the time the police arrived, everything was wrapped up neatly. Derek and his crew were arrested, and their criminal network was exposed. As life slowly returned to normal, Blake and Travis reflected on what had transpired. It wasn't just about standing up to bullies, it was about protecting their community and doing what was right. Blake repaired his truck, and the bond between him and Travis grew even stronger. Emma, unaware of the danger her father had faced, continued to see him as her hero, a role he was proud to live up to. The story of the two veterans who took down a gang spread throughout town. Yet Blake and Travis never sought recognition, they were simply happy to live in peace, knowing they had made a difference. Sometimes, the quietest people are the strongest, and true strength isn't about power, it's about standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult. Blake and Travis proved that heroes don't need capes or fame, they just need a good heart and the courage to act. Thank you for reading this story. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the story, please subscribe for more amazing tales, tips, and tricks. See you in the next one.